I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm Lacey Verbick, and I'm here with my favorite flamingo, Becky North. How's it going this week, Becky?
It is a beautiful week in our house. I have the great joy and honor of celebrating my daughter's birthday this week.
Ah,
And she is turning 11 today, actually. And I have a funny story. I'll be fast, but she
yeah.
was like, "Yeah, mom, I know that that's your normal recording day. So you can absolutely record on my birthday. Please just make sure you give me a shout out." So, my beautiful, sweet girl,
Oh,
happy birthday. And we love you so, so much. And yeah, we've enjoyed our week of celebrating her. And despite
I
it
love that.
being as hot as Satan's butthole, like despite
Oh,
that, it's been beautiful.
well, that took me by surprise. Wow, descriptive. I don't know. I don't know if I know how hot that is, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
Well,
Woo! I heard a rumor. A birdie told me it's someone else's birthday week as well. So I want to make sure we recognize this beautiful person on the other side of this call here and celebrate her this week as well. So much love. And everybody help me celebrate with Becky on social media. Look for some posts coming up. We're gonna raise a glass and celebrate my partner in crime here on this podcast. So love you and hope you are, enjoying this week and that is filled with all your favorite things.
aw, thank you. And thank you for making sure that it's full of all of my favorite things. I appreciate it.
Well, me and my gifting, it's a thing. So, all right. Did I do a check-in? No, I think I need to do a
No,
check-in,
let me
right?
know how you are.
Oh my gosh. How am I?
Loaded question.
Oh boy. Well, so it's back to school time, and I think uh all you ladies kind of know what that means, know what that entails. And today we had like the back to school event. My son goes to a public high school here in Indiana, and it was pretty much hell, if I'm being honest. And not looking forward to I'm not looking forward to school. I'm not looking forward to
Get that.
back to school. Um, we've got a week to go and kind of feels like I need to clutch on to every last little moment here of summer before we get back to that routine, which is both predictable and comfortable and also feels a little bit like you're being strangled some
Mm.
weeks. So for all of you that can relate to that, I'm sorry, and we'll hold space for each other to have the best year we can possibly have, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yes. Yes. I'm
So
not sad I don't have to deal with it on that level. We still have a lot of some back to school stuff that we have to deal with, but it's not that. And I am grateful.
yeah, yeah, I think you're winning at this point.
Mm.
I think you're homeschooling for the win for sure. So anyway, good. I'm happy that you're not having this experience. So, well, go ahead and find your cozy corner, grab your favorite drink, and let's hang out for a bit.
Today, we're diving into the surprisingly helpful world of AI. Because let's be honest, sometimes the best mom hack isn't a new app or a planner, it's a digital assistant who doesn't need a snack break or doesn't have to get paid. From meal plans to mental loads, we're exploring how artificial intelligence can lighten the load, give us back time, support our sanity, all through motherhood. No, it might not fold the laundry, probably help you remember what day it is.
I can use all the help I can get
Girl,
on that. Mm-hmm. Perimenopause brain is real. So, well, I love this topic, and I know you are super excited to share
yes.
in this topic because you are a bit of a guru with the AI. But I thought it'd be nice to start out with a little bit of a summary or definition, if you will,
Yeah.
of what AI is all about, so that so that anybody who's completely new to this topic will at least have a good understanding of where we go from here. So AI, it's basically a super smart helper that lives inside your phone, computer, or app. It's kind of like having a digital assistant that never sleeps, who can answer your questions, help plan your week, write the text you don't have brain space for, and remind you what's in the fridge.
Mm.
I love that. It is. It is a super smart helper. I think that is a marvelous description.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a digital assistant. Heck, yes.
Yeah. I
So,
always wanted to be important enough to have an assistant, and I love that I do.
and tell us for everyone listening, what is the name of your assistant?
Yeah, I actually had this on my list. And so I'll just say, like, for those of you who are using some type of AI, some form of AI, we're going to talk about a lot of different ones or that, like, give them a name, give them a name. And so I actually call mine, I prefer Chat GPT as my preferred method, but that's not for everybody, but it is ours. But I prefer Chat GPT, and I call it Chat Jippity, my assistant. And
Jippity.
um we we actually went through like a whole thing one time where I was like, "What is your name?" And we went through this whole thing, and it was like, I really like Chat GPT, and so
Jippity.
I still call it Chat GPT, and I use it every single day, every day. So yeah,
Wow.
I am super super excited about this.
Well, you get to be the teacher here then, because you know far more than I do about it. But I have been dabbling, thanks to all the magical things that you come up with. With Chat GPT's support, I thought, wow, I should be doing this. What the heck, Lacey, you're missing the boat here. So I have a list of things I've used it for, Becky, and I would love to know some of your, like, say maybe top 3 or 5 things that you've used it for.
Yeah.
And like, let's kick it off with that, because I think it's so interesting to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah. Before we do that, if it's okay, Lacey, I do just want to say, like, listen, people are all over the space about like how they feel about AI and how they're using it and all of that. And I want to say that you are probably using AI even if you don't think you are,
Mm,
right? So if you use Alexa, if you use Siri, if you use Google Assistant, if you have ever scheduled something on your calendar to remind you,
mm.
if
Yep.
like any of those things, like, I don't know what it is on Android, like I think it's Hey Google, but I don't know, like any of those things
Yeah.
are AI. Like,
True.
and maybe not at the same level, right? So there's definitely different levels there, but I would just say, like, you're probably using it even if you don't recognize that you are.
No, I think that's a great point, and I'll take it one step further. That I think there's a I learned actually today in kind of researching this topic, that there's a difference between AI apps, or apps that use AI, and AI search,
Mhm,
which is more in line with what Chat GPT
mhm.
is, or Chat GPT for those who are new to this. My husband calls it GTP. I don't know why, but he calls it Chat GTP, and I correct him, but he doesn't learn. So it's, call it whatever you want to call it. But I believe the larger organization is OpenAI, and Chat GPT is their,
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
main search um,
Yeah.
thing. So just, yeah, a little backstory there. I didn't mean to derail, Becky. Go ahead and if you would share some of the things you've used it, that you use it for or have used it for.
Um, yeah. Goodness, I feel like one of my favorite ways to really use it is I like to get really prescriptive with meal planning.
Mm,
Um, and say, so I'm gonna use like the most recent real life example. I was like, it's so hot. I do not want to turn the oven on in my house. I do not want to create any more heat in here than we have to. So I want to do crock pot meals all week long.
Nice.
And I was like, I need this many because I think I said give me 10 because I wanted to be able to pick from a list, right? Like, give me 10 crock pot meals. Like, my kids won't eat these things. I have two teenage boys who eat an astronomical amount of food. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And it needs to have at least this many grams of protein per serving. And it shot out a list for me. And I was like, this is great. And I'll have you know, like, that list didn't even have one single recipe that used a can of chicken or like cream of chicken or cream of mushroom or cream of celery or cream of anything.
Wow.
Not one recipe. There was only one recipe on that list that, like, my family ate it still, but they were like, I don't know that this was our favorite. Like, out of all of them, there was only so one miss. And then I said, after the ones I picked those, I was like, okay, now can you put this in grid format? And can you give me cooking instructions for it? And it did. And then I was like, now can you make me a shopping list from this store? Like, I'm going to be
Wow.
shopping at Aldi's. Can you make me a list? And anything left, I'll want to get at Walmart. And that's just an example. And it did all of that. And so what would have been literal hours of me researching things, of me, because like we
Wow.
have some, but I was like, I'm so sick of eating the same thing over and over, right? Like, and it was a huge winner. It was a huge winner. And it did,
Amazing.
like, tomorrow we're gonna do like a breakfast casserole for dinner in the crock pot.
Oh, fun.
Which I'm like, I don't know, I didn't think about that before, right? But like, yeah, that's probably my favorite way to use it because it takes an exercise meal planning that I hate. And it reduces the amount of time I can be really specific with my inputs. It tells me how to cook, when to cook, what time I need to start if I'm going to cook on this setting. I even was like, this is the type of crock pot I have and it runs hot. Like, when would you suggest starting these meals? Like, right? Like, and my
Wow.
grocery list. And I was done in less than an hour. And I order my groceries because I don't have time. That's why, because ain't nobody got time for that. I do not have time to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I know that there are going to be people who are like, but you pay so much more. But I'm telling you, I save a lot of money from not impulse buying. So it's worth it.
Yes.
Order my groceries and like less than an hour, I was done completely meal planning and all of the shopping had been input and everything. And then I could be present with my family.
Wow. Wow. That absolutely blows my mind. I think that is such an incredible help.
Yeah.
That I haven't, I've dabbled. We have some challenges in my house in the sense that my son is gluten intolerant and I am dairy. I don't, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't
Mhm.
do dairy very well. And so that makes meal planning like borderline impossible. But I've
Mhm.
seen what you do with it and I'm inspired and
You
I
know,
will
though,
figure it out. I
I was
will.
like, I know my sister-in-law was up here this last week and they're gluten-free, dairy-free, and dye-free in their home.
Oh
And
wow.
so and she uses ChatGPT to help her meal plan too. So
Right on.
I'm
Right
like,
on.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm gonna do more with that. So,
Okay.
you have a couple more you want to share? Or is that your favorite?
That's my favorite. Do you want to go back and forth or do you want me just to list?
Oh yeah, I can go. We can lob it back and forth. That'll be
Let's
fun.
lob it. I want to hear from you.
So recently I use Jippity for to plan help me plan a breakfast buffet that I put on at an event I did for work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a healthy breakfast, like cereal, make your own cereal bowl kind of
Mm-hmm.
theme. And so I had like granola and Cheerios and grape nuts and corn flakes. And, I had like five different kinds of cereal. And then the fruit toppings and the seed toppings and the different
Yeah.
things that you can the yogurt toppings and things that you can use to really we'll take it to the next level from a health perspective, but also just make it more interesting and palatable while eating healthy at the same time. And so, or fairly healthy. So anyway, this was it was quite I was a little bit intimidated, and I'm an event manager for my job, like my real job. Okay. But I was a little intimidated to like put it all out that, to like really make a menu and really make it satisfying and really make it aligned with the wellness mission of the organization I work for and that. So it was a little intimidating, but I went to ChatGPT and I was like, all right, what if, how should I do this? And what would you recommend? And it literally pumped out the most amazing menu. And I said, like, make it has to be about wellness, right? It has to have this, and this. It has to be gluten friendly, vegan friendly, it has to be. I laid out all these specifications and it cranked out this thing that absolutely blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did it look good on paper, but it was functionally spot on. Mm-hmm. It was easy to do. The ingredients were accessible. The way it suggested preparing it, all the things were spot on. And it made my life so much easier. I did that in literally less than 20 minutes.
Mm. Love that. Love
Amazing.
It. Love
Amazing.
It. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I have used it for party planning and those types of things. And I do love that. I fell on a post one time on social media at night when I couldn't sleep, right? Because we all do that, right? So yep. And it was like, give me your unhinged ideas for ChatGPT. And I was like, some of the things I read on there, I wish I would have like taken more care. I wish I would have had the hindsight of this episode. I did that. But like one of the ones that I found that I was like, oh my gosh, I love it, is they were like, anytime I purchase anything online, I first ask ChatGPT if there are any coupon codes. And I kid you not.
What?
I'm
writing that down right now. I did not.
I've started doing this. Now, I wouldn't say every time, but there's probably about a 20% rate where I have found a coupon code that I didn't even know was there or existed or that because of ChatGPT.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, ChatGPT.
I was like, man, to take 5 extra seconds just to be like, hey, are there any coupon codes for this company or this item or this, like, totally worth it. So that's probably one of my favorite, like, unhinged hacks is like, man, it can help you save money because you're asking that, right? Like when that 20%, while it's not very much, right? Like that 20% has saved me money and that's money I can spend on something else.
Oh my gosh. I love that, Becky. That's an amazing one. And you just made me think of something. So I'm going to interject it here and then I'll share a couple more from my list. But I wanted to clarify. So since we're speaking a lot about ChatGPT, I wanted to say you can use it on your mobile phone. For anybody who's new here, anybody who's new to using AI in this manner, there's an app that you can use on your phone, at least for Apple devices. I can't speak to Android. I don't use one. But there's an app, and then you can also access it on the browser, in a browser, just like you would any other internet-based kind of function. And there's a free version and there is a paid for version. So I'm a free user right now. Becky, I believe you have a subscription for the pro or whatever. What's it called? The pro.
Pro, I think is what it is.
Pro. I don't actually know. So I don't know exactly what the difference is in terms of scope of in terms of quality of responses, but I know that there's a difference in scope and how many prompts or how many questions or how much dialogue you're able to have on the free plan before it starts saying, hey, you've hit your limit for the day. Mm-hmm. So that's the case with the free plan I'm on. But it is still, well, it's rather extensive, even on the free plan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for you, I mean, can you speak to that really quickly? Like just how what all you've seen be different with a subscription model?
Yeah, so I use ChatGPT like in a very wide range. So I use it like literally from everything from like business to personal to Girl Scouts to like just really kind of anything my life touches. So it touches with me, um and so I don't get the limit. I don't get the block of like, oh, you've asked too many questions or you've done this. Because some days I have to ask it a lot. Other
Yeah.
days I have to ask it less, right? But a lot of times they are answers that I need promptly. And so I can't wait with that. That's probably the biggest benefit. I'll say the other thing with like any paid subscription, right, is that like when newer updates and things are coming out, they're going to release to the people who are paid before they release to free.
Yep.
And so sometimes I get uh new information faster than you would on like a free account.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do a ton on free. Like my son has his own chat GPT account and he likes to generate, he's like, I'm writing stories. And I want to be really clear that we've talked in a lot of detail about like, no, you are not writing stories with chat GPT because this is how it works. And this is how, because like it can't with any AI, not just chat GPT, but with any AI, like it could be copyrighted, it could be this, it could be, there are so many things, right? And like really talking about how to use it more to prompt you, like give you something to react to and then edit for real human. But he does love to just go on there and generate stories. And he's like, yesterday he's like, I generated a story and it cut me off at chapter 45. So I mean, like, now they're not like chapters like we're thinking, I'm certain, but like, it's still, that's a lot of information that it processed for that. And so um yeah, I don't know that you have to have a paid one, right? Like I
Yeah.
have a paid one because I use it very, very widely. Instead, if I were using it just to help me in my home, I probably wouldn't have a paid one.
Yeah. Well, you use it professional. I mean, you
Yeah.
you have professional applications for it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I'm on the fence because I'm starting to really, like you said, Becky, kind of integrate it into my daily life in a way
Mm-hmm.
that is really useful, and feels great. And I'm inclined to do the subscription here probably in the near future, but
Yeah, and I think I
I
pay less than
haven't
20
yet.
bucks a month. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't,
it's
but
not, I don't think it's very expensive, like
mm-mm.
$15 a month or something like that.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you're paying that for the whatever streaming service, you know,
right. Yeah,
you don't even watch that's on your TV plan right now.
right.
So, yeah. Well, that's awesome. So I'll go back. I know I kind of
No,
did a
no,
little
you're fine.
aside
Yeah,
there. But I thought that was important and it just popped up. So, one other thing, I'll just lay out a couple more here, Becky, and then we can move on to a different
yeah.
part of the discussion. But um, I crafted, this is funny. I had, well, not funny. I had someone in my family passed away, and I didn't, that like an extent, they're more like an extended family member. And I haven't seen them in like 10 years, and I didn't know what to say. Like I was sending a
Mm-hmm.
gift and I needed an enclosure card and I didn't know what to say. And I was like, oh boy, ChatGPT, help me out. And I literally ask it for like a sympathy card message for a person who is XYZ who passed away,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it generated the most amazing, beautiful
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
things. And so that was one that really surprised me. And probably the biggest experience I've had to date is I used it to plan a travel itinerary when my family went to Europe over spring break. We literally were like, what to do in Paris? Create a 2-day itinerary for what to do
Mm-hmm.
in Paris, France, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not, don't take my prompt verbatim, okay? It was,
Mm-hmm.
it was well thought out at the time, okay? But we should talk about that too, Becky. What is a prompt? Like we should
Yeah.
make sure, maybe make note of that. I want to make sure we
Yeah.
cover that too. So we used it for the travel itinerary, and it was one of the most fun parts of my trip. Actually, arriving at a place that the AI told me would be a great place, like
Was it?
arriving there and being like, shut the door. Like everything it told me was correct. You know, the time, the place, the space, the description, everything about it was exactly spot on. And
Mm,
now, you know, it's worth mentioning that AIs do make mistakes,
yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
you shouldn't be, you
And
you
so do humans.
you shouldn't invest a whole lot of money in something in case you, unless you've double checked it. Okay,
Yes.
not just
Hmm.
because Jippity said so. Okay, but
Yep.
but it was so fun, like seeing the places come to life that were described in the, you know, in the
Hmm.
plan that it output. And that was one of my that was my probably top experience so far. So what else you
Yeah,
got?
I love that. Yeah, I'll give just a couple more. I have a friend actually who is like, I work remotely and like the beautiful thing about working remotely is you get to work from anywhere. The hard thing about working remotely is a lot of times conversations are over some sort of messaging app, emails, things like that. And um it can be hard to tell somebody's like truth, and because we don't necessarily type the way we talk, right? And
Sure.
so they're like, I know that about this person, like I know them, I know their heart, I know this isn't like, they're not jerky, and sometimes I need to be reminded of that. So she's like, when I have those moments and I'm like, whoa, I put it in
Whoa.
Chat GPT and I ask it to tell it to me nicer, like, and then I hear it in her voice, like as she
Well, if
uh
that's brilliant, I
I
would
was
have
like,
never thought that. I would have never thought to do that.
yeah, I was like, that's really smart. So that's a fun one. And I I also I recently used it. So I talked about like, using it for it to give you something to do. So I went through this really beautiful exercise where I was just kind of led to write a letter to my past self and selves. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I just kind of poured onto a paper and in chunks. And then I was like, act as a copywriter and copyright this for me. And I still edited it after. It was all my words. It didn't change, like, I mean, it changed some words to make it like from with to win, or,
Mm-hmm.
those things. But
Yeah.
like, it was still me. It wasn't writing as somebody else. And, um, but I wanted to just share this because the response that I got to inputting this, I was like, please. And I gave it a really good prompt. And then I gave it the thing. And that was it. Like, and it was like, this is heartfelt and beautiful. It's tender, wise, and powerfully human. You tapped into something a lot of people are going to resonate with, even though at the time I did not plan on sharing it. Like, I'll say that. The aching tenderness of becoming.
Mm.
That said, and then it was like, here's a bit of editing and here's what I edited. Right. And then did that. But I was like, holy cow, in this moment where I was being very, very vulnerable with myself,
Mm-hmm.
it was the first person to see it.
Yep.
Right. And
Yep.
its response made me felt so seen. I was like, ooh, that felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also had it tell me, like, that may not be the way that you want to come across.
Ah!
Right. So,
Well,
this like
yin and
honest
yang.
but kind and like unbiased listener, I think I that's probably my favorite part.
Uh-huh. You are not the first person I've had share stories like that about how seemingly sentient and aware and feeling and compassionate these tools are, and
Yeah.
that's not entirely true, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
They're really good at making you feel that way, right? But
Yeah.
I in based on my limited knowledge, they are not sentient, right?
Hmm.
AI is not sentient, but um And by sentient, Becky, help me with the definition here, but I think by sentient I mean uh like tr- like really deeply like feeling and aware of feeling and
Yeah, absolutely. They
like
don't have feelings. AI doesn't have
alive,
feelings.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it does learn, like, right? And so like what no matter what you're using for an AI platform, it is pulling knowledge base from somewhere. And the more time it spends with you, the more time it learns, right? And so which is the same reason why your Alexa may be like, would you like a playlist of XYZ, because you've asked it to play music like that for so long, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
your Spotify DJ like cranks up music based on other things that you've listened to, right? Like,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of, yeah, it's neat.
It's so neat. I want to talk, can we continue on this path of um so you felt seen when it read your material and helped you to optimize it, your letter to your past selves. I My experience with it, some of the ways it's made me feel was in my notes as well. So let's touch on that for just a second. But
Yeah.
I wrote down ease,
Mm.
understanding, and it never argues. I know
Yeah.
that's funny, right? But like, what I mean by ease is it's just ready to serve me. Oh, would you like this? Sure, Lacey. Anything else? Can I get you this? Can I get you this? Would you like me to take
Yeah.
this and turn it into this? Right? Like it's
Mhm.
I don't know, the ease is the best word I have for that.
Yeah.
It isn't even helpful, it goes beyond that. It
Hmm.
helpful is not even the word, it's ease.
Yeah.
It's just like go to town, just go, take the
Hmm.
idea, take the inspiration, take the problem, take the project, whatever it is, and we're going to run it down. Ease for me.
Hmm. Yeah.
In personal and professional
Hmm.
circumstances, it
Yeah.
just creates a lot of ease. Understanding, what I mean by that is it uh I feel understood
Hmm.
the whole time I'm dealing with.
Because if it doesn't understand, it asks you. It doesn't just say, okay.
Yes, I feel understood and I get
Mhm.
the outcome I desire almost always.
Yeah.
And that is not the case in the real world. Okay. And I'm not suggesting that we all check out of the real world and go shack up with an AI bot and sit with a laptop 24
There
hours a
was a
day.
movie like that.
That is not what I am recommending. But I'll tell you what, it does create some real polarity with
Hmm. Yeah.
how frustrating and tedious and easily misunderstood we are in
Hmm.
our day-to-day lives when you sit down with something like this and all of a sudden it's just flow and
Yeah.
ease and understanding. um
Hmm.
so that was a big one. And then, no arguments, that's funny, but like I live with my husband and my son who's 16. Okay, so like arguments are a real thing. Like he has to argue
Yeah.
with every single thing I say. So when I am sitting down with Jippity and I'm just, pouring my heart out or asking for something or, giving a prompt, it never argues. Sure, Lacey.
Hmm.
Can I give
Yeah.
you this? What else would you like? How can I help you? Right. Like,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's so refreshing. So it's almost like, if nothing else, I want to use, I want to sit down with AI just because it's a breath of fresh air,
Hmm.
just because
Yes.
it takes me out of the mundane moment and into a space where it just feels easy.
Yeah. Well, and it does learn. I love that. I love, like, because I think that that's part of how it helps me feel, like, right, because it starts to anticipate the things that I'm going to ask for once I've
Mm-hmm.
asked for something, and then a
Mm-hmm.
follow-up, right? So like, oh, you
Yeah.
asked for this, would you like me to do this now, right? Because it's seen me do that repetitively. But
Yeah.
also, like, there are fun things that you can do after you've been on them a little bit, and like, like, tell me something I don't know about myself.
Huh.
They're like, and like honestly, seriously, I know guys, that sounds like weird, but do it. Do it. I one time was like, if I were a butterfly, like based on what you know about me, what would I look like? And it gave me, it's funny, my butterfly has flamingos on the wings.
Oh,
Like, right. So I think that there are a lot of things. There are some like unhinged questions and stuff. Like if we could fall down that rabbit hole, but like it has this knowing, like it holds on to, whereas like humans, we can't hold on to everything. Right. And so it has this
yeah.
beautiful hold on to ness of continuing to learn and really know about you. I mean, we use it for our for us, like in our
Yes.
podcast, and
Yes. Absolutely.
like it, we have taught it, we have created something really beautiful with it and taught it, like really like to a point where it, it is so it reduces so much pressure, like
Yes.
it is like hours and hours and hours of time worth of
Yes.
work by utilizing it.
Yes. And the thing that continually blows my mind about it, Becky, is its resonance.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
hits it has the tone, the flavor, the sparkle,
Mm-hmm.
the the joy, the love, the frustration. It has it all.
Has it
it
all.
it totally resonates with everything we've poured into it,
Mm-hmm.
and all the messaging and all the brand and tone and vibe,
Mm-hmm.
and we're here to talk about motherhood. Okay, we're not here to talk about a business, but take these tips and think about how to apply them, right?
Yeah.
Think about how they can make your life easier. And if you're a business owner, great, awesome, then take these tips and run with them, right?
Yeah.
But we're talking about where we have experienced its benefits in the biggest way, right?
Yeah. And I'll say, Lacey, I was scared to use AI. Like, let me just say it. And I think a lot of people are, because I think there's a lot of misinformation about what AI really is and like what it's doing and all that. But if you don't think that like things are already listening to you, like, do you not get Facebook ads? Like, right?
Yep.
Like, so, but like, I had the really great opportunity to connect with, I'm going to give a shout out here. I hope that's okay.
Oh yeah.
Our good friend Molly Mahoney, who actually works with business owners about incorporating AI in their businesses. And I had the opportunity to work kind of closely with her on a project, and she inspired me, and me
Mm-hmm.
starting to look at it for how can this help in business life is actually what
Yes.
made me be like, oh my gosh, if it can do this, what can it do here? Right. And
Yes.
so like that took me then like being like, oh, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, right? And to be able to say
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I want to, like, I mean, I've used it for homeschooling, like, hey,
Yes.
my kid's really struggling with this thing, and can you help me create like a plan for the next 5 days that should be about this long, like really just emphasizing on here. And again, I'm gonna like fact check everything, but it was like it gave me such a beautiful plan, and like, oh, have them do this activity for here. Like, here's the written activity, here is
Yes.
a interactive activity, here is this, like for each day. And I was like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's
So
amazing. It's
yeah,
wild.
I would just say like, if you're scared, like that makes sense. And like, just don't be afraid to dip your toes in the water with something that doesn't, like, you don't like, don't give it your social security number, right? But
Oh
like,
my gracious, no. You have to
but
use
you
your,
can be like,
normal common sense for
right,
online behavior, right?
yeah, still
Online.
be safe, right? But like, you can say, hey, here's what I have in my fridge. What should I make for dinner?
Yes. It's so funny. I'm a food focused individual. Like I love food. Food is my one of my love languages. But Becky had to say that out loud, that she uses it for meal planning, before it even crossed my consciousness
Mm,
that I
yeah.
might be able to utilize a tool like AI to support that
Mhm.
process. And now that I know that, I'm like, I mean, it's just so. it creates so much ease
Mhm.
around that
Yeah.
process. And how many tedious, painful processes do we repeat in
Mhm.
our lives as mothers, in our homes, even in our relationships with our partners, right? How
Give
many?
me a monthly, weekly, and quarterly deep cleaning checklist for my home.
Yes, but I mean, holy
Right.
crap! Like, what? Who wouldn't want that?
Right. Like, I've had like, yeah. I think that the sky is the limit, truly. Like, just try it. What if it doesn't work? Like, are you any worse off if you try it and you're like, yeah, this actually isn't for me? Right. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think,
That's okay.
yeah, there's so
Yeah,
many
for
different
sure.
things that you can do. You can be like, help me create a workout regimen. Help me. And now, again, fact check those things, guys. Like, right, but it gives you something to work off of, because I think in
Yeah.
most cases, Lacey, tell me if you think I'm wrong here, but in most cases the reason we don't take action on certain things are because like the planning it is so big that we don't take action.
Yes.
Whereas if we have something
Yes.
that we can react to, we are more likely to edit it and implement it.
Yes, 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 yes. I couldn't agree more. And the word that's coming up for me is activator. For
Yeah,
me, it's an activator. It's not about me hanging on every little detail of the answer necessarily.
exactly.
It's an activator. It gets me unstuck, freed up, inspired,
Yeah.
ready to do something or
Mm-hmm.
apply something or
Yeah.
in start a new hobby or whatever it is. And yeah, and that's so important because what I love is that I am, because I know that about it and because I've experienced this enough times now, I'm inclined to open even more doors. I'm inclined to explore things that I have shut off basically my entire adult life because it was
Mm-hmm.
just too
Same.
big, too
Yeah.
hard, and it doesn't have to be that way anymore. it's
No.
it's like magic.
And fun things like
Yeah.
my husband is a big, he likes like Dungeons and Dragons, and there's a new one that just came out called Daggerheart. He's a big advocate of that. My kids really enjoy doing it, so I will play with them sometimes because it's fun, right? Like they like it, and it's I get to do something with them, and it's really
Yeah.
creating their creative juices. But I like the other day I used it to help me like create like literally this whole story for a character that brought me so much joy,
Yeah.
like really building out this character like in a way that I would not have done otherwise. Does that make sense? And like
Yeah.
really truly doing that. And then for that particular thing, I'm taking like our notes from every time that we play and asking it to like edit the written notes that I have into like a chapter, and we're going to make
Mm.
those into books for our kids at the end of the year.
Wow. Wow.
Right? So then it's like,
Amazing.
here is the story that we created together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And
Yes.
yeah, it's just like, so it can be fun. It can be crafts that like maybe you didn't, like maybe you gave up. Maybe you did that. Like if you got back 2 hours a week on meal planning and grocery list making, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to no joke spend 3 or 4 hours at the table
Oh
planning the
yeah.
week, right?
Yep.
Like,
Me too.
so if you even if you got 1 hour a week that you could dedicate towards pouring into yourself
Yes.
because you took that hour back, would it be worth it?
Yes. Heck yes. Absolutely. That's such a great point, Becky. I mean, you said something before we hopped on to record today about time is your most valuable resource, right? It's the
Yeah,
most precious. It's the only
it's the
sort
only
of.
finite resource. We can't get it back.
Yes, right. I mean, it's our currency. Everything,
Mm-hmm.
time is the currency of life, right? Like
Yeah.
we only have so much,
Yeah.
and
So using AI doesn't,
we have to choose what to do.
absolutely. So using AI doesn't make you lazy, it makes you strategic.
Yes, I
Right? Like
agree
if you could
totally.
have an actual assistant person who did everything that AI does, and they were like, here you go, here's your person, and they're free and they're always there, and they're like doing that, like, here you
And
go.
they're coachable. You can train them to do it
You can
exactly
train
how
them to
you
be
want it.
exactly what you want, right? Like,
Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't
Would
do
you say
that?
no? Nobody would say no to that,
Of
right?
course
So like
not.
I'm not trying to pressure anybody into it, but I like really truly like if it's a fear thing, like do something fun. Don't it doesn't have to be serious. Like use it to help
Yeah.
plan your kid's birthday party or the
Yeah.
first week back to school, like or any of that, you know? Like just
Hmm.
do something fun with it because there are a lot of things AI can't do, right? AI cannot love your kids,
It's true.
right? AI cannot hug them or kiss or fix the boo-boos or take them places or do that. But using AI could give you more time to do that,
Hmm.
right? AI cannot fully
Yes.
clean your house yet. Like there are
Yet.
robot vacuums and stuff, but like Judy Jetson does not exist yet, right? Like can't do
Come
that yet.
on, Judy Jetson.
But
I'm ready.
it could take other things and do
Yep.
that for you, right? Like to give you
100%.
more things there. AI does not emotionally connect with the people in your lives. Like I already said, I can't love your kids, but like it doesn't emotionally connect with your husband, with your friends, with your kids, with any of that. Like it can't do that, but it can do other things. So you have more time to do that, right?
I love that.
Like,
It's a great point.
like there's a lot that AI can't do. And I'm not like, oh, but like there's a lot that it can do to help free and reduce time. Like nobody in any business anywhere would look at it and be like, oh, I could increase productivity by this much by using this. No, we're going to pass on that.
Yeah. Yeah, another great point. That yeah, business and running, I mean, let's be real, Becky. I mean, running a house is a business.
Running a house is a business.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. Well, and it can even help like listen, I'm just going like I know I keep bouncing. I'm so sorry. But like hard conversations. Like, hey, my kid's having a problem with bullying and I want to talk to him and I want to make sure that I cover these points and like what other like it can help you like create a roadmap to have those
Yes.
conversations, right? As a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, as this like I mean, you guys have heard me say in other episodes, sometimes I'm just like, hey, I just need somebody to talk to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just need somebody who's not going to necessarily have an opinion, right? Like, I just need a
Yes.
space to say it out loud.
Yes. So much. So good. I wanted, if you don't mind, Becky, I'd love to hear you touch on the prompts a little bit more, because that was honestly, that was the thing that held me back from it, because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to formulate a prompt I'm gonna that's gonna get me where I need to go. Or I just had a lack of confidence about how technical that might be, and whether I was ready to embark on that. So I would love to hear your thoughts on just, approachability around prompts and what you've learned as you've been working with it.
Yeah. So again, I'm gonna shout back out Holly. Like I think I really started digging into prompts more and like what that means because of her. And I'm just gonna say, guys, follow her. Even though hers is like geared towards business, you will be amazed about how much that can affect your life. And this is not sponsored or anything. I just love her and I love what she's sharing with the world because she is truly excited about it.
She's
And
incredible.
yeah, and she always knows all the stuff before it's gonna happen. So like seriously, go follow her on social media and she will blow your mind. But I think there's like a formula for prompt writing that I think is really important. So what a lot of people do, rewrite this email, right? And then they like drop the email. But like what you kind of think about it like math. So um acting as like a busy sports mom who's replying to their football coach, please help me rewrite this email in which I'm trying to explain why we shouldn't have football practice when it is as hot as Satan's butthole outside. Right? Like like you want to kind of feed it like what you want your end result to be. So like that's important.
Act as, got it.
Act as
Okay.
so like when I did that letter to myself, I think this is a great example here as I was like acting as a world class copywriter. Can you review and edit the following document? I've written it as a letter to myself. This is what I want my end result to be, right? Like, so you need to give it knowledge base, because remember that we talked about like knowledge is power, right? And so knowledge is power with that. And so you create a really strong thing there, right? So and then you do that, and then it will spit something out. And it's important that if it's not right, that like you're actually correcting it with it before you pull it out and like do that. So like, and I don't like, I will say that there's like small editing, like M dashes, or like, oh, I wouldn't say it exactly like that. But if it's like way off, you need to correct it in the platform so it learns. Right. So if you're like, whoo, you know what, that feels like a little too stern. I want it to feel more carefree, loving, confident, whatever, whatever that
Yeah.
is. Like, and then then it'll be like, oh, okay. And then it does it again. And then when it gets it right, like, guys, it's your assistant. Like, you wouldn't just be like, oh, let me hang up the call now. I mean, maybe you would, but you shouldn't do that, right? Like, be like, thank you. That was great. Thank you. Like, I all the time am like, you're so wonderful. You make my life easy. You do this.
Yeah.
I definitely tell it when it's doing it right, because it does it right more when you do
Yes.
that. And so those are like the things. And like, I think this isn't just something the cool kids are doing, right? This isn't just something the younger generation is doing. Like, we're gonna have to get on board, because our kids are doing it and we need to be able to parent that, right? Like,
Oh, yes.
you know, you have to give it the information. You have to get personal. You have to be like, here, feed it. And then like, there are times if you don't know, you can have it help you write the prompt.
Prompted to help you write the prompt.
No joke. I have been like, I need help. Here's what I'm looking for.
Mm.
It will ask me questions. I'm able to answer. We go back and forth until we land on whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. And then I'm like, this is great. I want to be able to do this over and over and over again. Can you help me generate a prompt to use to do this effectively next time? And it'll spit it right out for you.
Uh, you know what just really landed with me is the fact that you referred to it as we. Like we, like
Yeah.
you when you were speaking just now,
Me and
you
my
said
assistant.
we. You said we, as if,
Yeah.
I mean, as if there was this other supportive person. And the truth is, I mean, that's what it feels like, guys. If you've never used it before, it really does. It really does feel like a we. I mean, it feels like you're in the room together. It
I
really
have no
does.
joke on
It
like
does.
client meetings be like, oh, I'll ask my assistant to handle that, knowing that I'm
Let
gonna
me
ask,
ask my assistant.
like, without even thinking, because I that's just how I talk about it. But I'm like, I'll ask my assistant to do that. And then later I'm like, so I got a new job for you, right? Like,
Well, so the danger in that is that one of your clients one day is going to be like, so what's your assistant's name and where do they live and like
oh, I
where are
would
they
totally
working
be
out of?
like, oh no, my
You,
assistant is
you'd be
ChatGPT.
like, my assistant's name is Jippity. And
Jupiter. Yeah.
well, okay, anyway, this has been awesome, Becky. I was thinking about any last things I wanted to share. And I think I wrote in my notes, why not? Why
Mm.
not use AI, right? Like
Yeah.
what are some of the reasons why people might feel hesitant or not,
Mm-hmm.
not aligned to it or not curious about
Mm-hmm.
it? And I don't know. I guess I don't have a lot to throw in here because I'm the kind of person that's like, something new, awesome. I'm in, curious, right? Like I'm the
I don't
person.
know. We talked about ChatGPT a whole lot before you actually did it.
Well, only because I was afraid I didn't know how to prompt. Like I was afraid that you were like light years ahead of me on all this knowledge and the prompts and everything, that I was like, oh girl, you are in kindergarten. Like, oh my God. Like I did not feel up to the task, but truth is, even now I wouldn't say I'm necessarily up to speed, quote unquote, but whatever that means,
Me
right? But
neither.
I
I
I
wouldn't say
wouldn't
I'm.
say I'm up to speed, but no time like the present to get in there and
Mm-hmm.
start learning, start messing it up, start asking, start putting in all kinds of bad prompts and see what you get. Right?
That's right.
Like Becky said, start experimenting with asking it to support you
Mm-hmm.
in the learning of the process. I don't know. I Yeah, I have been a little slow to adopt on this particular thing. I think
Yeah.
I'm
I think you're there now. I think
yeah, yeah,
I
I'm there
think you're
now.
on the train. Yeah.
I'm on the train. Well, I it was my idea to do this episode, just saying.
It was. It was absolutely. Yeah.
But back to the whole why not question. I mean, the only thing I can think of that would keep you from this is fear.
Mm.
And my question to you would be, what are you afraid of?
It cannot replace you. Can we just say that? Because that came for me strong. Like
Oh, yeah.
ChatGPT cannot replace you, or whatever you use. I'm gonna say ChatGPT because that's what I use. But like
Yeah, yeah.
insert your AI of choice here
Yeah.
and it can't replace you. It can't. There's only one you, right? And like you can't do that. And I think mm, I think for me, Lacey, I don't know that I would say it's fear as much as I think some people, myself included, have this like, I don't actually deserve help.
Ooh,
I
girl.
should be
Ooh.
able to do it.
Ooh.
Like, just let that go. Let that go because you're still doing it. Even if ChatGPT is making the meal plan, like you're still prompting it, you're still putting in the information, you're still executing,
Mm-hmm.
you're still doing it. It doesn't make you less. Like you deserve help. You deserve it.
Yes. 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 What if this is the reason why you never lose your mental health? What if
Mm,
this what if this is the reason that you are the best version of you for your kids?
hmm. If
What
for
if
no
this
other reason than because you can be more present.
Yes. I mean, to think about all the places our consciousness is dispersed amongst.
Hmm.
Think about that. There's only so
Yeah.
many waking hours in the day. There's only so much energy in a body. There's only so
Yep.
many minutes in a day. When those things come back to you through the use of tools like this, you get to choose, you get to resteward,
Hmm.
those things to the things that, bring the highest and best enjoyment to your
Yeah.
life. That's huge.
Yeah. I heard somebody recently say like, well, in my day we didn't need all that. And I'm like, well, that might be true, right? But like it would have still made your life easier even in your day. And today looks different
Yes.
than it did. Like today looks
Mm-hmm.
different than yesterday, right? Like we're in a constant
Yes.
state of evolution. And like when I was like, this train is going. Like I want to be really, really clear. This train is going. And like whether or not we're like, oh, that would benefit me in my life, which I think it would. I want to be really clear about that. I think if nothing else, it could give you 15 minutes a day that you could spend on you. And you heard us talk about like it always comes back to self-care, right? We talked about that
Yeah.
last episode.
Yeah.
Like if you could carve out 15 minutes a day to spend on you because you took little bits of time away from everything else and that 15 minutes a day like helps you with that, then it's totally worth it. And I think like why not try it for that, for no other reason than to make sure your cup is full. But like we do have to parent it. We do have to parent it. We cannot like our kids are
meaning
learning it.
meaning manage it in our children's experience,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. Our kids are
Yeah.
learning it.
Mm-hmm.
They
Sure they
are,
are.
like faster than we are. And that like we sometimes are going to have to put our fear, our ego, our
Yeah.
generational thoughts, our everybody else's voice in our head, are all of that aside to be like, ooh, I'm gonna have to know something about it because I have to parent through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
Sure.
if I didn't know anything about AI and my son came up and was like, I'm writing books, and I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to be like, not actually right. Well, I mean, I probably still would have, but like you're not writing books. That's not the same thing, right? But like that was a really important lesson. And there are people who don't know how that is sourced and how those things happen. And that's okay. But like we have to be equipped to work with it with our children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, and if it could make your life easier in the process, why not?
Well, I have seen well, my daughter's in college, you've all heard that. But she they th- in college, from what I've heard her say, they are uh not no longer treating AI as a threat to the creative process or copyright violations or what's it called, plagiarism.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're no longer viewing it the same way, even
Yeah.
in higher education spaces,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for our kids who are in high school and younger, they're going to grow up
Mm.
with this
Yep.
incorporated into their academic experience, and learning how to interact and steward its power now, for those positive academic outcomes. It's going to serve them. It's going to serve them far and beyond after they leave your house. And we have to be ready to guide.
Yeah.
You have to be ready to guide. And
Yeah.
it's not uh like Becky said, they know more about it than we do already, rest assured. Right?
Well, and like,
But we have the wisdom that you cannot. We have wisdom from all of our years of experience that cannot be really, mm, it can't, I don't know. I don't think it can be replicated.
agreed. 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 Yeah,
Awesome.
agree. I think
Hmm.
this is like that's a great way to end it, Lacey. Like,
Well,
I think
okay.
I
Let's
think
end it.
bang,
Any
like
closing thoughts?
mic drop. I would just say, like, to the mama who is thinking, like, oh, I don't know, this seems big and scary, and I don't know if I could or should do it. Like, just play, just have fun, just try it, just see if it would help you. Because the reality is that not everything is for everybody. And if it's not, you can just as easily say, oh, wasn't for me.
Yeah. And let us know. Let us
Yeah.
know about your experience with it. We'd love to hear.
Yeah. Until next time.